Welcome you all to my channel Let's Learn. Dear students, in my last video titled as noun, in that part I have told you about nouns. What is noun? What is its definition, its types, everything I have already told you. Perhaps you have remembered what is noun. I have already told you that nouns are naming words. It tells about the names of things, names of persons, names of mountains, names of countries, names of places, everything else. Now, we will discuss. There are some words which can replace the nouns. They are called pronouns. So, today's discussion is about pronoun, the first part. Now, we will see what is pronoun and what is its definition. Now you see, a type of noun that refers anaphorically to another noun or noun phrase but which cannot ordinarily be preceded by a determiner and rarely takes an attributive adjective is called pronoun. In other words, we can say pronouns are the words that stand for a noun. They must be of the same number, person and gender of the noun they refer. And we can take some examples of the pronouns. There, I, we, you, he, she, me, him, her, they, both, each, us, them, myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, etc. And now you must know one thing about pronouns, that pronouns must agree with the noun they replace. If a pronoun replaces a singular noun, it should itself be singular. For example, I brought my fishing rod. Here, my and I are both singular and agree with each other. If the subject were plural, then it would read, we brought our fishing rod. The plural pronoun, our, agrees with the plural, we. Now see, this is about the pronoun, and you must remember one thing, that the word which replaces a noun or the word which can we use instead of a noun, that is called pronoun. Now we will see what will be discussed in this chapter and what are the points and what I will discuss in this part. Now you see, pronouns are of different types. They are personal pronouns, impersonal pronouns, reflexive pronouns, emphatic pronouns, possessive pronouns and relative pronouns. And in this part, I will discuss about only two pronouns, their personal pronoun and impersonal pronoun. Now, we will proceed to personal pronoun. Now, see the examples. Alok is my friend. He comes from a nearby village. It is 3 kilometers away from here. My bicycle is new. His means Alok's bicycle is old. He wants to have a new one. Now, I told you many sentences as examples. In the first sentence, you see Alok is my friend. And in the second sentence, he comes from a nearby village. Here, he is used instead of Alok. And in the third sentence, it is 3 kilometers away from here. Here, it is a pronoun which is used in place of village. And in the fourth sentence, my bicycle is new. His bicycle is old and he wants to have a new one. Here he refers to Alok also. Now you see, in these examples, we saw that he, it, his, all these words replaced a word, a noun, that is Alok, his village, etc. So these are pronouns and these are also personal pronouns. Now you see a table which shows about forms of subject and object pronouns. What is the table? You see, the table is divided into 3 columns. First column is about person, second column is about singular, and the third column is about plural. And in the chapter noun, I have also discussed about persons, and you know there are 3 persons in English. First one is first person, second one is second person, and the third one is third person. And in case of pronouns, in different persons, we can take singular pronouns and plural pronouns, and these pronouns can be used as subject or object of a sentence. Now for the first person, you see the subject is used as subject and me is used as object, and for plural, we is used as subject and us is used as object. Like that, in second person, you is used as subject and also you is also as object. And for plural, both you is used as subject and object. Now for the third person, he, she and it, these 3 are used as subject, and him, her, it, they are used as object for singular, and for plural, they is used as subject and them is used as plural. This is about the subject and object form of pronouns in different persons, what we use in different sentences. Now we will see the subject pronouns. What are subject pronouns and how these are used in the sentences. You see, there are more than one pronoun in a sentence. Then first comes the second person, then comes the third person, and then comes the first person. Now we will take an example. You and he are both guilty. Here you see, you is the second person and he is the third person. So first came you and then came he. And we will take another example. He and I belong to the same place. Here he is the third person and I is the first person. So third person came first, then first person came. Now you see some important points about subject pronoun. The first point is you and it present no difficulty as they have the same form for subject and object. For example, did you see the snake? Here, in this sentence, you is used. And its answer may be, yes, I saw it and it saw me. Here there are two it. And first it refers to the snake and also second it refers to the snake too. So it is the pronoun. And did it frighten you? Here it is also a pronoun is used for the snake. And then second point, I, he, she, we, they. These four pronouns can be subjects of a verb. Let us take example. I see it. Here I is a pronoun and I is the subject of the sentence. I have already told you about subject and predicate in the sentence chapter. He knows you. Here he is the subject and a pronoun too. And then third example is they live here. They is also another pronoun. And the third point tells us about complements of the verb to be. To be, mark it. It is I is the example. And the fourth point is, if the pronoun is followed by a clause, we use the subject form. This is the most important point. If the pronoun is followed by a clause, we use the subject forms. For example, blame Bill. It was he who chose this color. Now, this is about subject pronoun, and now we will proceed to object pronoun. What is object pronoun and what are its uses? Now we will see. There are 8 points in case of object pronoun. You must mark all the points, and this is also important for personal pronouns. First, we will take an example. My mother does the housework. I help her. Here, her is used as a pronoun and it is for my mother. And this is the object of the verb help. And then another example tells us the doors are very dirty. Look at them. Here them is a pronoun used for the doors and it is the object of the preposition at. Now we will see the first point. Generally, object pronouns are used after be verb. For example, who is it? It is me or him or her or us or them. Now see, is the be verb, and after be verb, that means after is we use me, him, her, us, them. These are pronouns also. Now we will compare who and it, where we will use who and where we will use it. Now you see, when we ask about somebody or we tell about somebody, we use who. For example, who is this new teacher? He is Mr. Mahapatra, our English teacher. Here you see, who is used for Mr. Mahapatra and who is also a pronoun, and it is a personal pronoun, and he is a pronoun. he is also a pronoun. And then another example, who is Mr. Sahoo? He is my uncle. Here you mark the pronouns who and he. Now, when we introduce someone before others, we use it. For example, who is that? It is my friend Mohan. Here it is used for Mohan. Now, then the next point is, normally we use the object forms here. Where? You see the examples. Who is it? It is me. You see, here it is used. Where is it Tom? That's him over. Now, the next point number 4 is me, him, her, us, them can be direct objects of a verb. Can be direct objects. I have already told you about object when I discussed in your sentence chapter. Then I saw her. Here her is an object. Tom likes them. Them is also an object. Then point 5. It can be indirect objects or objects of a preposition. Bill found me a job and gave him a book. With him, for her, without them, to us, etc. can be the examples of this point. Now, the 6th point tells us that an indirect object comes before a direct object. I made Ann or her a cake. I sent Bill the photos. Now you see here, Bill is the indirect object, the photo is the direct object. And then 7th point tells us, if the direct object is a personal pronoun, it is more usual to place it directly after the verb and use to or for. For example, I made it for her. I sent them to him. Then the 8th point tells us about with many phrasal verbs. Perhaps you don't know about phrasal verbs. It will be discussed later. With many phrasal verbs, a noun object can be either in the middle or at the end. For example, hand your papers in. Hand in is a phrasal verb. Hand in your papers. Hang your coat up. Hang your coat up. Or hang up your coat. Hang up is a phrasal verb. Take your shoes off. Or take off your shoes. Take off is a phrasal verb too. Now we will see it is a pronoun. It can be used as personal pronoun. How? We will see. The first point tells that it can be used instead of something or some work or some event or some situation. For example, the egg has gone bad. It was bought yesterday. Here it is a pronoun used instead of the egg. Egg is a thing. Then the meeting was held today. It has increased the salary of the teachers. Here it is a pronoun and is used in place of or instead of the meeting. Now, the second point tells us to identify someone. For example, who is this girl? Is it your sister? Then the third point tells us that it is normally used of a thing or an animal whose sex we don't know, and sometimes of a baby or small child. For example, where is my map? I left it on the table. Here, it is used instead of map. Look at that bird. It always comes to my window. In the second sentence, it is used instead of bird. Her new baby is teeny. It only weighs 2 kilos. It is used for new baby. Then the fourth point tells us it is used in expressions of time, distance, weather, temperature, tide, etc. Now, I will take some examples. What time is it? It is 6. What is the date? It is the 3rd of March. How is it to York? York means New York. It is 400 kilometers. How long does it take to get there? It depends on how you go. It is raining or snowing or freezing. It is frosty. It is a fine night. It is full moon tonight. It is hot, cold, quiet, noisy in this room. Now, this is all about your personal pronouns. Now, I will proceed to impersonal pronoun. What is impersonal pronoun? We will see. First, we will see it as impersonal pronoun. First point is as an empty subject. That means there is no subject or subject is zero. For example, weather. In case of weather, it is very cold today. Here it refers to the weather. It is raining. And for time, we can also use it. It is 8 o'clock now. It is time to go. It is Sunday tomorrow. And now for distance, it is a great distance to Srinagar. How far is it to Bolangir? It is nearly 500 kilometers. It is rather a long way. It is only a short walk to the railway station. Now see, in all these examples, I used it, and here it is used as an empty subject. That means it can refer to anything. It may be weather, may be time, may be distance, whatever. Then the second point, as anticipatory subject. For example, to get taxi here is impossible. It means, or it is impossible to get a taxi here. Here, it means to get a taxi here. And we can take some more examples. It is interesting to see new places. It is better to leave this place at once. Now see, in these sentences, it can be used as the subject of the sentence. Now, the third point tells us for emphasis. It is you who told me. It is God who can help you. It is on Monday that I saw him. Now, Here it is used to give emphasis. To give emphasis. Now we will see about one and ones. How can we use one and ones as impersonal pronoun? Now you see, one can be used for a singular noun. For example, I am making a cake. Would you like one? Here, one means a cake. Do you want a drawing pencil? No, I have got one. Here, one refers to a drawing pencil. Then this train is too early. What time is the next one? Next one means the next train. Now we will see the second point. We use ones, O-N-E-S, ones, instead of plural noun. For example, do you want large apples or small ones? Here, ones means small apples. And another example is, who are those people? The ones over there. Here, the ones means the people. Now, we will see about the third point. We use one or ones after this, that, these, those, each, another, and which. But it is not mandatory. And once is used rarely after these or those. Now we can take an example. Shall we buy this? This means one here or that one over there. That one is lovely, but I think this one will suit me better. I was shown 5 shirts. Each one was expensive. We have all the Orient newspapers in our library. Which one would you like to read? Here you see the use of one. And then one or ones is mandatory to use after adjectives. That means if there is any adjective, then just after adjectives we will definitely use one or ones. For example, which is your bike? The blue one or the black one? Here blue and black, these are 2 adjectives. So we used one. Then another example, our bus took a long time to reach there. It was a slow one. Slow is the adjective here. And the third example is, he sold his old car and bought a new one. New is also an adjective. And then the last example is, I want these or those yellow ones. Yellow ones. Here yellow is an adjective and we use ones after the adjective. This is all about our today's discussion about personal and impersonal pronouns. Thank you all. If you like this video, please like, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Click on the bell.